So we've seen many versions of The Chosen One. We've seen The Chosen Ones, The Chosen One, some of which are on Netflix with the same name in various iterations. We've seen The Messiah, which was cancelled short, and The Messiah was excellent. But ever since we've had the Bible, and entertainment has taken some of those stories, it's taken some of those stories from the Bible and mixed it up in our entertainment. And here we have another one. This time I would say it's a less serious because it's aimed at a wider demographic. So we have our cast of kids, and one of those kids, Jodie, is finding out that he's not quite normal, and like in the synopsis, it says that he has Jesus-like powers, and he's got to figure out whether he's going to follow this so-called calling on his life or whether he can just live a life as a normal boy. So what you get in this series is a lot of teenage angst, them coming to terms with what age they're in, falling in and out of love, best friends. But for me, out of the 6 episodes that we got, the first episode was actually the best. So let's talk about The Chosen One. I will be doing an ending explained at the end, but for now, this is just a review. So I'm pretty sure this is set sometime in the 80s because we have the clothes they're wearing, the technology that they're using, the sort of coming of age story that we have, what it means to be alive and in that age. You know, apart from the relationships and things, it's just kind of trying to figure yourself out. They're taking a story that a lot of people know and kind of embellishing it to create their own story and making it quite fantastical. Now, it is entertaining, and I think the young actors do a very good job at portraying that the characters that they're given and how they're meant to act with what is going on. But the reason why I said the first episode worked so well for me is because they go on this journey. They go out into the desert, they have something to find, they all kind of have their own reasons for being there. But it's like Stand By Me. 4 best friends go on a journey, they go on like this trip, and that's what I liked about this. The aesthetically pleasing shots of the desert, kind of symbolism of some of the shots looked amazing, and their trip brings you in as an audience member to really get behind each and every one of our cast members, our young cast members, which I think was a really good setup for the first episode of this series. It makes you care about the characters so that it brings you in to this slow-paced series, because although it is entertaining and there's a lot to try to draw out by what actually is happening, it's the mystery of the story of is he or isn't he, or what is actually going on here. Now, unfortunately, this series doesn't answer all the questions. There's a lot that's hinted at but never actually told us about, and it also ends on a what is that where you're ending it? I think the only thing that's going to really keep you coming back to these episodes, because the episodes feel drawn out, and a lot of the time that some of that teenage angst drama isn't necessarily needed to further the plot of the story. We understand who likes who are best friends with who, we care enough about them. If anything, it detracts from the storyline because we want to know what's going on. We need some reveals, we need some answers, and we get very little of those. There is a standout actor here, Diana Agron. You would have seen her in other big series like Glee. You would have seen her in movies that you will recognize her, and I think she plays a really good job at trying to be a mom that needs to protect her son because she kind of knows about his mystery and where he comes from, all of that, as well as trying to let her son be a teenager. And she plays that well. I really liked her performance in this. There's a deepness, a realism of her character as a mother and wanting to let her son kind of step out of his shell, but also knowing who he is. When this series works best is when it shows us what's kind of gone on before through flashbacks with her son growing up. Because we start with him at the age of 12, almost reaching 13, and we see how much toll it has taken on the mother for her having to raise a kid that is not normal. So what he can do, that kind of thing, does make you question, like, who is he? Why is he doing this stuff? Is it the Jesus stuff? Is it some other godlike thing? You never quite know or understand what's going on. And even at the end, let me know your thoughts down below. Did you enjoy this, or did you find it as slow paced as I did? I liked the acting. I didn't mind the aspect ratio. I guess they're trying to put you in that zone. It could have been more grainy. If they were going for the square ratio, trying to make you feel like you're watching it on an old TV, they needed more grain. There's a slight camera handheld effect that they use throughout the whole series, but they needed to double down on that effect to really make use of it. But for the most part, the filmmaking is good. the acting is good, and the dialogue is fair. The only thing that lets it down is the score for the TV series. There were many times it kind of takes you out of it because it doesn't feel like it fits quite right. I don't know whether we needed more orchestral pieces, it just didn't quite fit for me at times. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, this series. I think the story is intriguing enough to watch at one time, but you might be wanting to like flick over and fast forward some of those character interactions when they're dragging on a bit. You want to know the mystery of the next bit and the next episode and just get to that kind of revelation. And then when you get to the revelation at the end, you're going to be like, is that it? Really? Okay. So I'm going to give this 2 3/4 out of 5. I was thinking about a 3, but the more I think about it, because of how it ends and how they leave it, it irritates me. So just above halfway, 2.75 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Did you enjoy it more? What is your favorite Jesus type story like the Messiah, whether it's a film or a series? I'd love to know in the comments below. And now I'm going to be talking about the ending. So this is massive spoilers. So here you are for this bit if you want to talk spoilers. So at the ending, the big reveal, the surprise to no one really, is that he's not the Messiah. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. He's actually what they said is a demon. So they didn't actually use the word Satan, but you can surmise that we're talking about. The Christians call him demon, which is Beelzebub, which is another word for Satan. So they're drawing it back to that Christianity mark. But now if you've been watching the whole series, you'll understand that we've been having whale sound effects. We've having sirens culture mixed in there. There's a lot of other things going on there. Even the symbolism of the locket he was holding is very different to what Christians know or what they think of the Satan kind of being is. So there's a lot other that's mixed in there. And then we skip time and we see where Jodie has become president of the United States. We can tell by the locket he's holding. So they're obviously trying to hold something back for season 2, I presume, if it garners enough people watching it. And he's going to the Holy Land, which is basically like end times, where he's going to bring about the end of the world, go to Israel and, you know, destroy everything that is holy. So we've gone from, oh, he's slightly smiling in the corner of his mouth, and now we've jumped time to where he's being trained by these people, this organization, which we can only presume is the ones that are looking out for Satan's son, and the other group, which we presume is trying to take out the Antichrist, which is what they've basically said that this series is, which is a bit weird because they had other kind of mixtures of culture in there. If you want to know the explanation, maybe ask down in the comments so what other people thought about the whale sounds, about the siren kind of goddess-like creature that we've had that was mixed up with the water. That was all kind of in there. There was some other symbols as well if you watched around the series, not just Christian-like, but other mixed in there as well with like lore that isn't just the straight up Jesus story. So I'll be interested to hear what you think about it, but for my mind, that's how I understand it, that he's become the Antichrist. He's gone now to wage war and bring about the end times and bring his father to earth for the last battle, I guess. So let me know your thoughts and feelings on this series. How did you think about the ending? What would you rate it out of 5? Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.